Hello. Hello, Sahar. Hello, Vanessa. Hi, Marl. Hi, Farahto. Hi, Esma. I'm great, Marla. I am great. Hi, Smat. Hi, Mariam. Hi, Paramida. Hi, Nikara. Hello, C.A. Rowland. Hi, Farzane. Good morning, everyone. I love you too. I love you too. It's a beautiful day. Hi, Lavi. Hi, Negarajun. Good to have you here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Hi, Soraya. Hi, Naime. Hello, hello. Hi, Hashem. Hi, Z. Hey, Darian. Welcome, everybody. Hello. Hi, Satari. Nastaran, hello. How are you? Hi, Karima. Hi, Samane. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday. Hello, Spring Teacher 58. Welcome. Karima, it's good to see you, honey. Hello, Behruz June. Hi, Africa. Hi, Mushkan. You are my love too. Hi, Shahzad. Yes. I love you too. I love you too, guys. So let's start our day before my guest join for today. We're going to have an amazing join live. I'm sure you're going to love it. Let's start our live with a Rumi poem. Out and beyond all right doings and wrongdoings, there is a field. I will meet you there. What does this poem mean, guys? Out and beyond ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. I will meet you there. Hi, Isabella. You're late, Isabel. Hi, Gali. What did Rumi mean? What's the meaning behind this poem? Hi, Tara. Good to have you. Hello, Yugali. Welcome. Hi, Sahar. Hi, Shahzad. Good morning, Isabel. Hi, everyone. Samira, hello, welcome. Hello, Soraya, welcome. Hi, Masajun, welcome, welcome, welcome. Can't find my glasses up here. Hi, Pune, welcome, Lavi. Out and beyond all wrongdoings and right doings, there is a field. I will meet you there. That means we all here to experience, and we will go back to our higher self, God. Helegoli, okay, what else, guys? We are beyond good and bad. We are soul. Very good, very good. So could it be that if I come out of judgment to translate anything as good or bad, then I would join a place where there is absolutely no judgment. Everything just is, right? And in that field from the absence of judgment, everything is fine, right? Yesterday I'm learning, guys, to do a reel and story. I'm really not good with technology. And I told Sarah today, I said, I gotta start learning my phone, you know? I'm not really good at that. So I do it, I take a reel and then I'm like, what do I do with this? Share and this or that. And then if a different page comes up, I'm clueless of what to do with it. So I get totally lost. So, but yesterday I said I did a reel. Did I do a reel or a story? I'm not quite sure. But I said, it's really hot in Los Angeles. Yesterday afternoon, it was really hot, like summer, right? I came out and I was like, woo, it's so hot. And then I was like, it's really hot. And then few days earlier, I was saying, oh, I'm just wishing to have the warm weather, to be in shorts and t-shirt again, which we have on and off a lot in LA. And then it was cold. So in the morning, as you guys know, I wake up 4:30 or 4 o'clock, 4 a.m., which is kind of chilly. And then I said, what is it with us? You know, we're never happy with what is. If it's hot, we complain. We wish that it was cold. If it's cold, we complain. We wish that it was hot. It's always something else is better. So, yeah, and I kind of think this is my translation of the Rumi's poem. Beyond all wrongdoings and right doings, there is a field. So if there is no judgment of bad and good, light and darkness, this and that, then that means I arrive at this state of fully acceptance, surrendering to what is. And then I would feel good. I would feel content. So welcome everyone. Welcome Dr. Shahnaz. Welcome Elham. Please let me know where are you guys from. Lida. Hello, welcome. Tell me where are you guys from. Hi Parinas. It's Shiriyan. Welcome. Sahar is from Cumbria. Roz is from Iran. Marla from Canada. Faime. Dr. Shahnaz, where are you from? Leila. Isabel is from Vancouver, Canada. Roya is from Iran. Roshanak, welcome. Okay. Farshad is from Iran. Come on, guys, where are you from? Nirvana is from the moon. Nirvana, I love you. Thank you so much for writing all those beautiful comments. I'm in love. So beautiful. Thank you. Farzana is from Germany. Roshanak from London, England. Faime from Iran. Dr. Ma from Germany. Welcome. What part of Germany? I love German language. I love you more, honey. Dr. Shahnaz is from Iran. Welcome. Support.com. Hello, welcome. Arzu. Mahna is from Iraq. Welcome. Beautiful flower from my back. Yes, that was a gift for Nowruz from Mariam. Thank you, guys. Your English is not so good, but you can understand. That's enough. That's more than enough. Okay, I have no clue where that is, but I love German language. When I left Iran in the early I left Iran December of 1979. Vanessa is from Germany. Welcome. The first place I went was Germany. Oh my God. Talking about the cold and freezing winter. But I love Germans. I love German language. Hi, Neda June. I love you too. Welcome, Neda. Welcome. Shahbaz, hello. Welcome. Okay. She's here. Hi, love. Let me see, go live. Okay. I added you to join. Hello, darling.
Hi, sorry I'm a little bit late. I forgot that Tulum doesn't do daylight saving time, and I was expecting to be
Uh-huh.
online in 1 hour. Whoops.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Where are you, love? Where do you live?
Right now I'm in Tulum, Mexico.
Oh my God. I
It's
want to come
terrible here.
there. Why?
Come
Are you
visit.
serious?
No, it's amazing.
It's amazing. I know.
It's
Another
beautiful.
friend of mine's, Zara, is over there. He's thinking about um, just living there. I heard a lot about Tulum, and I think I want to go there. Is it expensive? I heard people are saying,
For Mexico, it's expensive. You're coming from LA, it's going to be super cheap.
okay, okay,
Yeah. Compared to
beautiful.
LA, it's nothing. It's a little bit less expensive than Miami pricing.
Okay, okay. Where are you originally from?
I was born in Colorado. Within 3 months, we started moving. So I tell people that I'm from Arizona just so that I don't spend the next hour talking about all the places I've lived. But yeah.
And what made you choose Tulum?
Tulum chose me, actually. So last year during the quarantine, I loved quarantine. I read the Course of Miracles twice. I started teaching classes on it online and doing the lessons and everything online. And as things started to open up um, during my prayers, my meditations, I started just praying like, what am I going to do? What do I do with all of this abundance that I now have?
Mhm.
And where am I needed, basically? And I had just gotten out of a relationship. I was heartbroken. I was unhappy. I'm never unhappy, but in general, I knew that Miami was not the place that I needed to be. And I knew it for 2 years. I just didn't know where to go. And so I was praying and meditating on it for about 6 weeks. And there was one morning that the entire hour and a half that I was in my meditation and prayers, I just opened myself. I just said, wherever you tell me to go, give me a clear and definite sign, and that's where I'll go. And so the economy in Miami had opened up. I went to the little tea hut that I go to, and a friend of mine that lived in Tulum was there. He had just flown in, and he's like, Jasmyn, oh my God, you got to come to Tulum. You're going to do great there. Like, everyone's just like you, more or less. And I was like, that's as clear as it gets. And so I booked my flight, and I actually came out here just planning to finish writing a book. And within 2 hours, my mind started working like, okay, I'm going to stay here, but what does that mean for my life? And so here I am, almost a year later.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
So, tell my followers more about you. Oh, hello.
I'm a happy doggy mommy.
We
She's in
can
heat,
see.
so she's a little crazy. Thank you.
So cute.
Um, yeah, that's Kiki. She's a Tibetan Spaniel. She's the best.
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit about me. I'm going to try to make this as short as possible because, like I said, writing a book because there's about 15 books that I could write out of my life. Um, so yeah, I was born in Colorado. My family moved around a lot, and I basically was raised in Arizona. And Arizona, when I was 17, was the first time that I actually had some sort of awakening. I basically took a lot of psychedelics and realized that life is not the way that I thought it was meant to be. I took it in a ceremonial, we took it in a ceremonial way. It wasn't a ceremony, but in a ceremonial way. And my whole concept of God, of spirituality, of even my own self was completely obliterated. And although I was training to be an opera singer and was basically the protege of a very well-known opera singer, all of that just kind of vanished because I didn't see anything as real anymore. I went into this really deep state of apathy. So I joined the US Army. And when I was 18 years old, I was in the Army. And for me, I saw it as kind of almost like an ashram like experience, a place for me to just kind of learn all of the values that my family didn't know enough to teach me: respect, duty, loyalty, honor, selfless service, integrity, all those things. When the United States declared war on, I think it was Iraq, I had gotten injured in the Army, and so I used it as an opportunity to make a choice. Do I want to go to war, like actual war, and kill people, or be killed, or do I allow this injury to give me an exit? And so I got out of the Army at 19 years old, and I worked in nightclubs. I worked in bars for many, many years, and I was in a relationship with someone who used the way that I saw him as a guru. Basically, I saw him as a spiritual teacher, as a way to control me. And although he had these beautiful lessons about spirituality, unfortunately, he wasn't living them. And so I was in an abusive relationship for 5 years. And that's what the book is actually about, is how I survived that through the lessons that he taught me. It was not at all what he intended, but the lessons of meditation and thinking for myself and questioning authority and seeing that there's something more than what meets the eye. And I ended up starting doing a meditation practice on my own. And with actually compassion, I left him when I was 22 years old. And when I left him, it was the first time that I heard my own internal voice. It was the first time ever in my life that I saw myself as a sovereign entity. And I started going to yoga within 7 days of leaving him. I was like, yes, now I can finally go and do the things that I want to do. Yeah. And so I was living in Scottsdale, and I started going to yoga, and I started meditating. And yoga practice, the asana practices, are basically what kept me from going back, because it just strengthened my voice. It strengthened not only my voice, but strengthened my willpower and my ability to just constantly be seeing that maybe what I believe and what I see isn't the only way. And so then I went to Italy. I was supposed to go on vacation, a lot like here, and then I ended up staying. I lived there for a year, and I worked as a nanny in Florence.
Yeah,
is where I started. And then I went to Torino because I found work as a nanny. And then my work as a nanny led me to Sicily, because the family moved to Sicily for the summer. And I used the money that I saved with that to then go to an ashram in India, the Bihar School of Yoga Sciences in Bihar. And Kiki, you're gonna have to get down, baby. And yeah, I trained there for, I was in the ocean for 5 months. I was in India for 6. And then I went to Barcelona. I was following a boy. It's the only time in my life that I've ever done that. It was my Italian boyfriend, him and I'd broken up when I went to India because I wanted him to actually get out of his parents' house and experience what that was like. And we got back together for all of 3 months in Barcelona. And then I stayed there. He left when we ultimately finally broke up. And I started working in PR. I was teaching free classes of yoga nidra and meditation and some asana classes. And then I was just working as public relations at a very popular restaurant there in Barcelona. And fell in love with a man, a Venezuelan man. Started managing his office because I was one of the very few people that spoke Spanish and English and had good management skills. He had a financial investment office. And then when we broke up, I was so beyond devastated and heartbroken that I had to leave Barcelona. And what led me to leave Barcelona was I realized I'd only been dating him for 4 months. I did not understand why I was hurting so much. And so I started going to therapy. And the therapist, and I talked about it, she said, "You're not grieving." I wasn't grieving that relationship. I was finally grieving the 5 years of my life that I gave to an abusive man. And she encouraged me to go someplace that things would just be a little bit easier. And so I moved to Miami. And Miami, I still got to speak all the foreign languages, but still be in my comfort zone, a little bit more comfort. It was easier to find work. It was easier just to exist, to survive. And while I was in Miami, my mother had been sick for a very long time, mentally and physically ill. And I was kind of like in this limbo state with my ex-boyfriend in Barcelona. He kept on like coming back and then leaving and then coming back and leaving. And then my mother went into a coma. And when my mother went into a coma, he wasn't able to be there for me. And I realized that it is better for me to be alone and lonely than to be with someone and lonely. Alone and lonely, I can learn to be alone and happy. With somebody and lonely, I'm only trying to make them happy. And so I asked him to please stop calling me because I knew that my mother was on her way out, that her soul was leaving this place, that she was going to die soon. And so I broke up with him finally. I finally just said, "Please stop calling me. Do not contact me anymore." And she died a month after that, actually. And I was actually very, very, very happy that I'd made the decisions that I did. And when she died, though, I was expecting all of the spiritual things that I'd been studying and doing to show me proof by showing me her spirit or her soul or having some contact with her in the way that I expected to have contact with her. And I didn't. So I stopped meditating. And the only thing I did was yoga because it was the only place that I could cry. Physically, I could not cry outside of the yoga classroom. It's the only place that I allowed myself to be vulnerable enough to open up and break down. And I knew that I needed to break down to get to a breakthrough of some sort. And I was bartending. I started drinking a lot and started sleeping around a lot. And I wouldn't call myself an alcoholic because I only drank when I was with people. When I was alone, I didn't drink. I was a very social person though, so I was always with people and I was working at a bar. So that lasted about 2 years. After 1 year, I started going back to my meditation practices. Even if I was hungover, I would meditate. Even if I was drunk, I'd meditate. And slowly I started to see signs of Mom. She would talk to me through people. She would speak to me through music. I was singing occasionally at a bar, and someone would sing her favorite song before I went on, and I would feel like, okay, that's mom telling me that she's here because I'm like way too vulnerable to actually have a conversation with her soul. And while I was bartending, there was a day that a freak accident happened where I was shaking some drinks at a very, very high volume bar. That means there's a lot of people. Like, we were one of the busiest bars in South Beach. And a new bartender, she walked in front of me, and I had a shaker in my hand, and I hit my elbow on the corner of the bar, the funny bone. And it was not funny. It was incredibly painful, and I couldn't work anymore.
Wow.
So with the injured nerve, I was getting workers' compensation, and I got a very good settlement. And so I traveled again, and I lived in Colombia, and I opened up yoga and meditation retreats in Colombia. I moved to Peru to do some more training and studying and to get more certifications for my yoga and for nutrition. I went completely raw vegan. I stopped drinking, and I moved to Greece as well. And so I opened up a business in Greece. I ended up going back to Miami because the business in Greece didn't work out. I was homeless and broke for 6 months. And eventually I started teaching again. And then I left bartending maybe 3 years ago and just started teaching full time and studying the Course in Miracles 5 years ago. And it all kind of started to work out pretty nicely. COVID happened. Here I am. There we go. Oh, I'm 36.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, sometimes because I had a really interesting life too, and I moved a lot, especially at one point. My ex-boyfriend, he was a pilot, so as soon as we would get to settle down somewhere, oops, guess what? We're moving again.
Yeah.
So we were constantly moving. At what I remember when he said we were in Tennessee, Nashville. Not maybe like 6 months in Raleigh when he came and he said, we're moving to El Paso, Texas. And I had no clue where El Paso, Texas was. But
I don't even know where it is.
El Paso is at the border of Mexico, yeah, right? So I was driving a huge truck. He was sleeping. It was midnight when I arrived to El Paso, Texas, and he says, welcome to El Paso, Texas. As I drove for 10 minutes, I said, hey, wake up. I think I'm in the wrong place. And he woke up and he looked around and he says, no, Sudi, we are in the right place. Oh, my God, what an experience. But I can tell you I had really good time there. I mean, I started doing all sort of different things. The first week when I went to buy bread, they didn't even actually had a bakery. So I started getting into learning how to bake good bread. And I was a vegetarian there. I was all into health and blah, blah, blah.
You were the only vegetarian there as well.
And then so it was shocking, but I start to manage, and then I start doing classes from my house because El Paso is so cheap. We rent out a 5-bedroom 2-story houses for like maybe $1,200 a month with a yard and swimming pool. I start working, growing vegetables and herbs and all that stuff. So it turned out to be really, really good. I had a really good time. But here's the deal, like when we look back at our lives and we see, wow, our soul has chosen to experience so many things.
So many lives in one.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, it's your story should be told over and over and over again. I love it. Yes, all these ups and downs and beautiful. So let me ask you a question. If we could take back time, would you do anything different, or would you choose any of your experiences differently?
Knowing what I know now,
Mm-hmm.
no, no,
No?
I wouldn't. Even the most painful moments, um, both physically, emotionally, and spiritually, it's all part of the not. It's not just about my story. It's about other people's story and the people that I've interacted with. And I have made it my purpose to have a wonderful influence on anyone that I interact with.
Mm.
And even even Jeff, who spent 5 years using me as at least an emotional punching bag, I know that I left an impression on him of forgiveness and unconditional love that he'd never had before.
Mm.
And I don't regret that at all. I don't regret those 5 years that I spent teaching him the things that he was trying to teach me.
Mm.
I don't, there's part of me that wishes I would have spent a little bit more time with my mom, but she didn't want me to. She wanted me to be living my life and traveling and not living the hell that she was living. And so, no, I wouldn't take any of it back. It's all been part of my healing process and part of my purpose in helping other people heal. And the
Mm.
stories I have are amazing. So, no, I wouldn't.
So with all the suffering, you still think that it was a good lesson, and you had to experience even the suffering and pain.
I didn't have to experience it as suffering, but I did experience it as suffering. We don't
Mhm.
have to experience these points of our life that are contrasting as being just suffering. And I consider myself a tantrika, and in tantra is not about sex. Tantra
Mhm.
is actually about seeing that every experience that we have, every single thing that we are observing is to be absorbed with love. Luckily, once we get to that point that we can do that with all the things that are negative, then sex becomes way better. But
Yeah.
but that's not what it's about. And it's not about seeking pleasure. No, it's about seeking, it's actually not about seeking at all. It's about accepting and embracing life as it's happening because we're just energy
Mhm.
expressing itself. And the beautiful thing is we are divine energy, we are loving energy. And if we're loving energy expressing ourselves, we're not just combined, we're not just restricted and confined to this body. Like the TV that's over there, that is me as well. That's part of my, because it's part of my experience and what I'm seeing and observing, it's also something that I can absorb and say, yes, I created that. Yes, that is me. And I'm choosing for it to all be love and not be negativity. I'm like right now in Mexico in Tulum, there's a there's a cartel war happening. Like the streets are empty at night during spring break because there's two cartels that are fighting over turf. Apparently, that's what the news tells us. And I'm walking on the streets by myself. I know, like, don't freak out, don't yell at me. I don't do it very often, but I don't feel unsafe. I'm aware that things can happen that could put this body in danger, but nothing is putting me in danger.
Mhm.
Nothing is putting my consciousness, my love, my ability to observe in danger.
Mm.
My friends aren't happy with that choice, but my family definitely doesn't like it, but yeah.
I just want to share what I'm getting from you. I absolutely love you. It's just this feeling that I couldn't hold back to tell you how sweet you are and how much I love you just for who you are. So I just thought to share
Thank
this with
you.
you.
Thank you.
Um, Walk us through your teaching.
I'm sorry.
I said, walk us through your teaching. What do you
What?
teach?
I teach a lot of things. I teach whatever anyone asks me to teach them. I will learn it if I don't know it. But essentially, what I market myself to teach is that healing ourselves is not about some mystical microwave dinner. Like we said, we were going to talk about the chakras today. I've taught healing through the chakras for the last 4 years. I've taught it every single day in studios, in yoga classes, online, in one-on-one clients. I do not teach people about the mystical form of energy. Why? Because that's not going to help them when they need to go to work the next day and talk to their boss and learn how to be forgiving and loving and compassionate. What I teach when I'm talking about the chakras is the word chakra means cycle. It means vortex. And it's a circle that just we keep on going back through and back to. The chakras themselves are centers of the body that are considered energetic centers. What is an energetic center? It's an emotional center. The way that we experience energy, every single one of us, we experience energy through emotions. So a chakra is an emotional cycle that we are experiencing, and it's happening within the body, and we are perceiving it and naming it and titling it. This is anxiety. Oh, this, and then we're giving it meaning by saying, I have anxiety because this happened. No, you have anxiety because you drank 5 cups of coffee and your adrenal glands are going off. You're choosing to say that it's because your boyfriend is making you unhappy, but your boyfriend is not the one that is giving you anxiety. You gave it to yourself. And there's a way to heal that. First, stop drinking so much coffee. Let's start there. Go back to coffee when you've learned to control the emotion. Secondly, why is it that I am still attracted to this kind of behavior? Why is it that I'm attracted to it and yet I'm resisting it? And so that's the kind of teaching that I do. So we'll do, when I teach the meditations, we'll do just a basic mindfulness meditation. I might use some of the symbolism that is well known of the chakras just because it stimulates memories in people's minds, and that's why they came to the heart chakra meditation anyways, and their mind is already there. As we get into the subconscious and the unconscious layers of the mind, by giving certain imagery, it's going to bring out certain memories and behaviors of thought that maybe they wouldn't have had otherwise. And then afterwards, I make everybody talk. I'm like, okay, now that we've been silent and still for 30 minutes, what is it that you experienced? So when I teach, I don't tell people what to think. I don't tell people how to act. I actually don't care what people do. I'm a tantrika. I accept all behaviors as being loving, divine expressions of energy. All I ask is that people, and my students, and my friends as well, learn to actually be aware of what's happening. So the first thing people say when I say, what did you notice? Oh, my foot was asleep. Okay, when you stopped complaining to yourself about your foot being asleep, what was it that you were thinking about? What is it that you noticed about the mind? Let's go into those behaviors. Let's see if we can interrupt those cycles. Let's interrupt that chakra and get it to stop spinning so fast. Let's interrupt that chakra and get it to maybe speed up a little bit and go in a different direction so that you can have a different life, so that you can manifest the life you want to by controlling your energy, by controlling your emotions, in creating a cycle that's actually going to work for you so things don't cause you anxiety.
Very nice. Do you mind if I bring someone up so you can work with them, or would you rather?
No, let's do it. I'm down for whatever.
Yeah? Okay. Sar, would you like to join us so we can um, we can work together. Okay, let's see how this goes. Because oftentimes I think we're losing so much energies because people are not accepting what is or what happened to them in the past. And it's like we're holding on into so much anger and resistance and unhappiness because we're not willing to really release the past. So, how would you go about that if we are constantly reliving our past and reliving the stories in our past and we really can't forgive and let go?
Hi.
How would you do it? Hi, Sahar. Let her
Hi.
answer this question and then we'll move on.
Sorry. I think I had a little delay, so I didn't catch.
Yeah,
What?
I asked her a question about how to release and forgive our past, not to relive our stories every day. So I wanted to get her respond, and then we move on to you.
Yeah, she has like an 8-second delay. So I'd start off by answering that with, first of all, we're the only human, or we're the only animals on the planet that choose to keep on reliving a moment consciously as though it's still happening. The only ones. Other animals, they don't relive it consciously. It stays in the unconscious as, okay, that when I see something moving in the grass like that, it might be a lion, so I don't want to go to that watering hole, right? But they don't let it absorb their entire life. They still continue to be elks and do the things that elks do, or zebras or whatever. However, because we are considered much more sentient beings, there's some memories in the past that I wouldn't tell someone, you need to stop thinking about that, such as abusive memories. If anyone had ever told me that when I left Jeff, that I needed to stop reliving it and just get over it, that's just re-victimizing me. So if there's anyone that's truly having those kind of issues of reliving some very, very painful moments, that the scars are so deep and so strong, if they asked me to help them, then I wouldn't tell them to stop living it. I would actually say, let's live it together. I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to relive it with you. Let's do this. You're not alone anymore. And allow them to have a safe space that they can feel held so that they can live those emotions. Because many times we're always reliving something that happened, and we're not letting ourselves feel the emotion that's coming up. So the energy is just compressing and hiding itself, and that's where disease gets introduced to the body. That's where autoimmune diseases come from. That's where cancer comes from. Not all of it, but like a blanket statement is that, yeah, that's where the diseases are coming from. It's just us trying to pretend that it doesn't hurt because we have to go about our lives, because we have to pay our bills. We have to watch out for the kids. We have to do all of these fictitious responsibilities that we have, and we're never taking the responsibility that we need to just let ourselves feel. I am completely against any type of teaching that is like the spiritual Xanax of only think happy thoughts. Like, that's just like, no, like, don't stop doing that. Like, that's spiritual Imodium AD. You take Imodium, so when you have diarrhea, sometimes we have a diarrhea of emotions and we're trying to like bottle it up. Eventually, just like with Imodium, all that toxic shit's got to come out. Part of my language, but eventually it's got to happen.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen, and you can choose to do it in a controlled way, in a safe space, or it's going to make a huge mess, a mess of your lives, a mess of your health. And I actually had one student, he was suffering from severe depression, and he was a very, very successful doctor. He had 2 kids, a beautiful wife that was like 15 years younger than him. But he was suicidal. And he told me that he didn't think that he was going to live out through the year. And this was last January. And he wanted me to do treatment with him with psychedelics. And I told him no. I told him no to the psychedelic that he wanted to. And he said, "Oh, but I heard, that it was LSD." And he's like, "I heard that if you that this is used to treat psychotic depression." I'm like, "It is, but it also causes it, and so that's not. You need to have a really firm grip on what you want your reality to be for that to work." And so I told him, "I will work with you, and we'll do meditations on the things that have happened so that you have the safe space to keep on, to live it and feel it and really not just bury it underneath depression. And then I can help you create something together. And then if you think you still want it, then yeah, we'll do it." Absolutely. He ended up not wanting to do it. He said he didn't like meditating because it made him just get deeper into depression. And so I took him down a different path of meditation other than the one that he was doing. And we did a Vipassana meditation where you just sit in silence when there's like very light guidance, just to like bring him back out of whatever cycle he was going through. And it was the first time that I ever saw him smile after we did a 1-hour Vipassana meditation. He ended up on his own. He didn't do LSD, but he did what would be considered a shaman's dose of psilocybin mushrooms. And then he called me afterwards. I'm like, "I'm glad you didn't call me beforehand because I would have tried to talk you out of it." But the mushrooms helped him to like pull himself out of the deep, deep grave that he was digging for himself. And so then when we did meditations after that, he had a feeling to remember, to be able to generate more of that feeling, to be able to generate more of that emotion, more of that energy of happiness and love and contentment. So.
Great. Okay. So are you telling me that you worked through meditation? Is there a energy
I work through
exchange?
meditation. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Energy
Beautiful.
exchange depend. Now I'm fun. Yeah. It took many years for me not to work on a voluntary basis. And when I wanted to do it full time is when I started to go, "Okay, Jazz, it's time for you to start seeing that money is not a bad thing. Money is a very good thing. It allows you to keep on doing this for other people so you don't end up working at a bar again, so you don't end up being around alcohol again." And so, yes, I do virtual programming. I do in-person programming. I'm creating a 6-week virtual program right now that people will be able to sign up for by the end of the summer.
Okay. And what do you do in that 6 weeks? What do we get?
In that 6 weeks, you will get daily meditations. It's a manifestation course. So it's how to use meditation and exercise to manifest the life that you want to live. And so daily meditations that are pre-recorded, 2 yoga classes a week that are pre-recorded. And then once a week, we'll do a call like this one, where we'll do a guided meditation, and then we'll do a discussion. And I'm using the chakras actually as a mapping system to help people remember which emotions that they're going to start reprogramming in their bodies so that they can start getting the life that they want to.
So because we don't have that much time, I just want to briefly talk about Sahar. She left. Sahar, you can join us if you're still there or not. But we were talking about this, that she has this resistance about learning something new. So she, like, for instance, like she works on social media stuff, and if I ask her, so why don't you start to really dig in and learn, like, progress to the advanced point, she always say, I know, I just know that. I know it. If I go and listen to someone, they're just going to tell me what I know. So she has this resistance. How do you work with that? Or what do you think the underneath causes it? Yesterday she said she figured out something, but how do you work with that?
When I have, well, I have that. So
Yeah.
it's very funny. Um, but how do I work with that? I typically kind of challenge them. I'm like, okay, show me. Show me that you know it. And if they don't, I'll be like, okay, how do you know that you know? How can you possibly know that you know it if you haven't gone to sit and listen with
Yeah,
them?
but here's the deal. See, we're beyond that because she's doing it. But then again, if you say, okay, so like right now I experience some issues with my Instagram, right? We don't call it shadow ban, but I see that I have, for instance, a lot of people join my lives, but instead of Instagram showing the numbers going up, it goes down, right? And then we see we have more followers, we have more response, but it's kind of like Instagram has banned us, so we don't come up. Instead of our follower goes up, our follower is going down. And she knows this issue. And then I said, so what's going on? How can we resolve it? She doesn't know, but she's not willing to go and dig in more to find out. She just say, I know. Sudi Jun, if I go and study, they're just going to tell me what I already know, right?
And does she answer you when you say,
That
then why?
her answer is that I know. If I go and listen to someone, some expert, they're gonna tell me what I already know. So we're coming back to the I know.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
willing.
I would be very frustrated if I were you, but um, I don't know. Zahar, where is she?
Sahar, you can join us. Now yesterday, after having another conversation with her, because you gotta be very mindful how you talk or deal with people. But she's 26. And I said to her, I said, look, I know it's not right to compare ourselves with someone else, but when I was your age, I was working 14 to 16 hours a day. I was going to university and I used to sleep 2 hours at night. That's all I got. But she's like, oh, I'm getting so tired. I'm on my phone constantly on this Instagram. And I'm saying, and what is the result we're getting? It's a lot
Uh-huh.
of things, but she has a lot of resistance. And sometimes I joke with her and I tell
Well,
her,
she just answered you. She said, I'm just not good at researching. Well,
yeah, that's,
Sahar,
uh-huh.
I
So that,
have a friend who he specializes in digital marketing. He knows all of the experts that you need to know. He does, I think he's part-time in LA, part-time in Colombia, and part-time in Miami. I will put you in touch with him, and he can answer all of Sudi's questions for you. So that's,
that would be
so
beautiful.
she can stop calling you out on her Instagram live.
Yeah. But generally, a lot of things that we don't do that are good. What do you think is behind resistance? Do you think is self-sabotage? What is behind resistance?
For me, it's always fear of responsibility.
Fear of responsibility.
Yeah. Like when I know something, now I'm responsible for that information and what I'm going to do with it. Right. And it's fear, maybe not fear of success or fear of failure. It's just like, oh God, now that's just another thing. I mean, when someone asks me to learn how to do something and I'm resisting it, it's because I don't want to learn how to do that because I don't want that person to ask me to do it. But that's myself. Um,
So let me ask you this. Now that you're aware that you're resisting and you're very clear about what's going on behind the scene, how do you deal with yourself then?
can you repeat the question?
I'm saying that you know that you have resistance towards doing some
Uh-huh.
stuff, and you're quite
Yes.
aware. Why are you resisting? Whether it's fear, you're very aware of it. How do you deal with your resistance?
Right. At this point of my life, if I'm resisting something, it's because it's not in alignment with a higher goal that I have set for myself. And I'm very clear and straightforward about it. I mean, Arezu's online right now. She knows me here from Tulum, and she has seen me start to put on very strong boundaries with people professionally about me saying, no, I'm not doing that. And it's not resistance because of any other reason other than that has nothing to do with why I'm here.
Mhm.
That's why I have resistance to something. I don't agree to do something that I'm going to have resistance to. But it took me almost 37 years to get there, to get to the
Yeah.
point of seeing the difference between resistance as laziness and just me, wanting to lay around the house all day, and resistance because no, there's a different way that I want to be. There's a different path that my energy is needed.
Mhm.
Because
But
anything I put my energy into, it's going to explode and prosper. And so now I'm just more particular.
Mhm. But I'm asking not when somebody else is asking you to do something that because of your boundaries you're not willing to do that. I'm asking you when you yourself want to do something, yet you still have resistance doing it, and you are aware that you're resisting to do the thing that you want to do.
It depends on what it is. Sometimes I'm I'm abiding by the resistance
Mhm.
because I'm trusting my intuition. Sometimes I look at my own resistance, especially if I'm aware of it, as going intuitively, something is telling me not to do this. And 90% of the time, it was a good decision that I made. Other times, if I'm aware of it, then I don't tolerate it for myself anymore. I just say, just get off your ass, Jasmyn, and go and do the dishes, or go and make that phone call, rip the Band-Aid off. There's nothing to be afraid of here. You've already been through hell. What's the worst that can happen? So
Yeah.
I either, if I'm so resistant that I'm just not doing it, then I trust it as intuition.
Mhm.
But it took me a long time to see the difference.
Yeah, I hear you. It was lovely having you, darling. I would love to have you again to do another join live with us whenever you're free. But tell us a little bit if they want to get your courses or come to your new webinar. Where do they have to go, and what would you recommend them to get?
So there's a couple things. There's the online courses are going to be starting probably within 6 weeks from now. And you can just find it on Instagram. I'm going to be promoting the crap out of it. And I'm going to be doing a women's retreat. So if there's any women out there that me and my business partner are hosting a women's retreat in Tulum in November. It's called Women Rising. Or I'm sorry, the Rising Women, and it is 100%. The entire purpose of the retreat is to help us heal our ancestral wounds
Mm,
and the wounds that our ancestors created in us. So we're going to be having a family constellations expert doing things every single day. Family constellations is the constellation of your ancestors that created the person that you see before you, and how to accept, embrace, and let go of the pain that we have with that. So for that, also go on to my Instagram, and I'm going to be posting the website this week. I'm just finishing and putting the final touches on it.
Beautiful. I would love to come. Maybe I come and see you in November.
Yeah,
Not
come and
sooner.
visit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
have a spare
probably come.
bedroom, so you can come.
That would be lovely. Thank you, darling. Okay, so how are you doing your online course? Are you going through Zoom, Facebook? What platform are you using?
I am figuring that out this week. Right now, I'm finishing writing the content. I've got like 2 more things to write, 2 more days to write content for, and then it'll probably be on a website. I think I bought the domain last week, and that's called arisingwoman.website.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom will be the platform that we use for the conversations for the once a week phone call. Yes.
Right. Okay, beautiful. So whenever it's done and ready, we're going to advertise for you and we're probably going to join you.
Yay!
Yes, it was lovely having you
Thank
on my
you.
live, and hopefully we get to see you soon.
Yes, I hope so too. Thank you so much. Have
I
a
love
wonderful
you.
day. I love
Thank
you
you so
too.
much,
Thank
darling.
you.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Peace be with you. Bye.
Okay. All right, everybody. Wasn't she lovely? I absolutely loved her. Hopefully we can help her to fill up her online course. And if you guys, I haven't, like I said, I haven't been to Tulum, but I was thinking about going, especially another friend of mine, he's there. So anyhow, don't forget, guys, to write comments, share, and I see you guys very, very soon. Love, and have a great rest of your morning, noon, afternoon, wherever you are, and see you guys soon. Bye-bye. No. Oops. Uh-oh.